Good evening. Welcome to State of Business. You're with me, Madhusha Tavapalakumar. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines first. Central Bank designs new framework to revive struggling non-bank financial institutes. And local engineer promotes eco-friendly smart home concept. Now the headlines in details. Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy says the central bank's non-bank financial institution supervision division has come up with frameworks to revive struggling non-bank financial institutions. He said they have identified 6 struggling firms and significant progress has been made to resolve their issues.
Non-bank financial institution supervision department have come up with certain proposals for resolving these issues. There are about half a dozen, and that is what we are working. We need to get some legal advice as to whether the frameworks that are being put up legally viable. So that process we are working our way through. We have kind of set ourselves a target of the first quarter of this year to see whether we can make significant progress in resolving these issues. But these are being in abeyance for 7, 8, 9 years, so it will take a bit of time because it's quite complex. We are getting some frameworks in place.
A Sri Lankan engineer is working hard to popularize eco-friendly smart home concept in Sri Lanka. Jeremy Fernando, who is the CEO of Innovative Smart Solutions, detailed his mission during an exclusive interview with Art Television recently.
Smart home concept is a concept where all the electrical and other devices connected in a house, so that you can control them by smartphones, internet, and various other methods. So in our case, we have developed a system where the data communication is happening on the power line, so that it is very convenient and cost effective for the smart home concept to be deployed. It's very easy because our products are all retrofit. In other words, it can be replace an existing switch or a plug. So you decide which plug, which switch you want to make it smart. You just have to replace them with our product. Since there is no additional wiring or wireless connectivity required, since the data is going through the same power line, you can just replace them.
Fernandez said a small house can be converted into a smart home at a cost of around 60,000 rupees, but the advantages are plenty.
The one key advantage is energy saving and security at the second advantage. So if I talk about energy saving, most of the time your TV and various other things in the house which are on standby power supply consume up to probably 75% of the power when they are on standby. Now switching them off manually is sometimes very cumbersome and it doesn't happen. But if it is programmed to switch off all standby supplies when you are not in use, then it can save energy. The other thing is you can control your lights. When you are not at home, the lights can come on at a certain time and it can go off at a certain time. All computer controlled, so that you don't have lights switched on and unattended and wasted when you are not at home. Sometimes people keep on lights when they go on holiday or in the evening when they get late, just because they don't want to walk into a house in the darkness. And also it is a security aspect. When there are no lights at home, it attracts a lot of unwanted attention. So controlling your lights and coming on at certain times, it can have security as well as you save energy.
He said they're trying to expand their concept into developed markets such as the USA and Canada through Mexico. At present, they manufacture units in China, but they have named it Ape since the product was 100% Sri Lankan design. The Ape Smart Home System creator was recently adjudged the winner of the Merrill J. Fernando Eco Innovation Award in recognition of outstanding achievement in eco-innovation and commitment to the sustainable development and growth of the energy sector in Sri Lanka. Fernando said he's eager to tie up with a suitable partner or with an investor to manufacture required units in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka, there is no manufacturing. Manufacturing is, in the zero level. Other than garments, nothing has been manufactured. So the electronics is one thing, which we can manufacture in Sri Lanka very effectively and bring it to the developed markets and make foreign exchange. The other thing is, this technology can be used by the power companies like CEB and LECO to control the street lights and also reading of the energy meters at home. So we have designed products for that. What we are looking at is some kind of a partnership or opportunity to bring it to the market. So not only the small houses or apartments, but also to Sri Lanka as a whole.
See you after this break. Welcome back. Sri Lanka's largest food packaging and agriculture expo titled Pro Food and Pro Pack and AgBiz exhibition will be held in August this year at the BMRCH. The exhibition is organized by Sri Lanka Food Processors Associations together with Lanka Exhibition and Conference Services.
The exhibition, scheduled to be held for the 16th consecutive year, will expect to attract more than 2,000 visitors. The organizers said that more than 350 stalls will be allocated for the local and foreign manufacturers.
We will ensure a large number of food business institutions of different scale to get benefits. Winners will become the ambassadors to bring this message across the country and beyond about the ingredients of successful business, which can be helpful in setting up examples in the country and also beyond. So thereby to encourage the fellow entrepreneurs. We also look forward to acknowledge the vital contributions made by companies and business leaders to encourage the entrepreneurial spirit in Sri Lanka and to give recognition to excellence in corporate management.
Now we have few more stories in brief.
The 13th Raigam Tellies is scheduled to be held in June this year at the Nelum Pokuna Theatre. The applications for this grand event are now accepted. Meanwhile, the nomination evening for the Raigam Tellies will be held in May. The Colombo Jazz Festival announced their lineup for the 2017 festival, which will be held in Colombo later this month. Following the immense success of its inaugural festival in 2016, this year's event has expanded to cover 2 days with over 80 artists. The Little Hearts Project will organize a walk in Colombo on Tuesday to raise funds to construct a 10-storied building to house the Heart and Intensive Care Unit of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital in Boralla. The estimated cost of the project is 2 billion rupees, and the organizers believe they could raise a sizable amount during the walk.
See you after this break. Welcome back. Now we have dealing room update for the week.
The Sri Lankan rupee rose for the first time in a week on Wednesday as exported dollar sales surpassed the demand for the US currency from banks to facilitate continuous exit of foreign investors from government securities. Rupee forwards were active with 2-week forwards quoting at 151.22 to 151.25 this morning. The forward premiums are hovering around the same levels as last week. The 2-month premium was hovering at around 83 to 87 cents, while the 1-year premium was hovering around 10.20 to 10.35 levels. On the international markets, the sterling held about $1.25 on Wednesday as warnings about the economic impact of Brexit failed to reverse the positive effect of suggestions that Britain's economy could sustain interest rate rises. At the weekly Treasury bill auction held this week, the rates of the 3-month bill increased by 8 basis points to 9.16%. The 6-month bill increased by 3 basis points to 10.07%, while the 1-year bill increased by 5 basis points to 10.47%. The overnight call money and repo rates were stable this week. The call money rates trading around 8.40 to 8.3%. while the overnight repo rates traded at around 8.20 to 8.25 levels this morning. The liquidity in the market was at a surplus of around 25.8 billion rupees on Wednesday. The Treasury bond rates in the secondary market were active this week. The 4-year bond maturing on the 1st of May 2021 was trading at around 12.45 to 12.55% this morning.
With that, we wrap up State of Business for the week. Join us tomorrow with the Biz Roundup at 7 p.m.